Here we go. We're recording. Yes, we are. So Adobe Spark, it's a tool that we have under the Adobe umbrella at FIT. And we have the paid account, so it's not the free version. So it is covered by FIT under the Adobe license. And the only way I can describe Adobe Spark is just the little brother of the big brother of Adobe Photoshop and Adobe Dreamweaver and what's the other? Photoshop. Wait, Photoshop, Dreamweaver. Oh, Premiere Pro, right? Because you got your video editing or video production, then you have your graphics, and then you have websites. Like in Dreamweaver, you can make your own website, Adobe. So the reason why I like Adobe Spark, and I'm speaking for myself, is because it's just very easy to pick up and learn how to use it, right? And so if you're looking to create more visual engaging lectures where it might be asynchronous on your online website or remote teaching, or if you are also teaching synchronously, you can also use it as for presentations. And one of the professors I'm going to mention today who allowed me to use her Adobe Spark Page, she uses it for her own presentations, not only for lectures, but whenever she's doing a presentation, she'll bring up her Adobe Spark Page and just present using that. Adobe Spark is really good at, if you're looking to tell a story, so digital storytelling. If you're trying to tell a picture, if you're trying to tell a story with pictures, you can easily drop in images, you can drop in a video, and the other added bonus that we're going to cover today is that I'm going to show you real quick how once you build your Adobe Spark page, you can just take that and drop it in your Blackboard course. So it's like a facelift, or like giving Blackboard a makeover. And so I'll show you a course from art history by the name Professor Lorenza Smith, who uses it in art history, and I'll show you her course also as an example of how Adobe Spark is used in art history. And another professor that I'm going to use or reference to is Jean Amato, who uses it for her, I think it's Asian cinema, Antonia. I might be saying that wrong. I don't remember the title of the course. That was correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so, yeah.
And so she uses it to showcase the movies and the actors and what's going on behind the scenes as they're filming these movies. So before I show you how to use it, Antonia's going to show you what she did from the student's perspective on creating Adobe Spark as a deliverable or a gradable item and submitting that to the teacher. So Antonia, I think, yeah, you are a presenter. If you want, you can go ahead and share your screen so that we can see what you created with Adobe Spark.
Okay, so has anyone seen Spark before?
I have not.
Okay, so this will look new. So I created it in a course that I was taking as a student. So what you're going to see is a more basic version of it than how you might use it as an instructor to present your content. But this is just an example I wanted to give you of how students can use it to present content to you or share it with each other in Blackboard. So this is a project I did for a psychology class. And the reason I used Spark for this was because I wanted to share links, and here are some links. I wanted to share images, text, and video. So this video will play if I click on it. And it's just a nice way to put it all together in a way that looks like a nice website. And so what Jose is going to show you is what you can do that'll be a little bit more complex than this. So this is just a basic presentation. And then I'll also show you how going through the share button, you can actually create a printable PDF. So it takes the page and it turns it into a PDF that preserves the links. You know, this is something that, you know, if you wanted to create a handout that's really visually interesting, you can do it through Spark. And I guess, Jose, should I show the graphic real quick?
Sure, yeah, go ahead.
Spark, you can create graphic like flyers and things like that really easily. So I'll show you one that one of my teachers used for a math course. So can you see this?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
This came into my inbox and it really stood out to me. I was her actual student. This was a reminder that the midterm exam period began. And in a sea of just text-heavy emails, this one really popped out to me. And there was no way I was going to miss this because it was just really interesting way to send an announcement. So you can create one of these and put it into Blackboard, or you can send it as an email, or both. So that's just that's my quick presentation for you.
Thank you.
I love that you did that you showed us the graphic, Antonia, because with announcements, usually, like you said, they're very text heavy, and sometimes they go unnoticed. You know, students don't bother to even read it, and just having a little image, a little like invitation card to the midterm or whatever, I think is a nice way to get their attention, right?
Yeah, and I think she presented for us in one of our workshops, and I think she was saying more of her students actually read that announcement than the other ones that she didn't put a graphic into. So that was interesting.
Oh, and another thing on graphics that I want to mention is that if you create something like that what we just saw, an invitation or whatever, or a flyer, it's a template that you can reuse throughout the semesters and just change the text easily. You know, everything gets saved in the cloud in Adobe Spark. And so once you save that project, you have it in your library. You can just pull it back up, change the date, and you have a new invitation for the new semester. And it doesn't take up much time because you're not recreating that wheel. You're not recreating something from scratch. You're reusing the material. And again, I'm always talking about saving time. You know, saving you time and automating things so that you can actually focus on the subject matter than the technology itself.
Yeah,
All right,
and that's what's great about Spark is, as you'll see how to build it, it's very intuitive. Very easy.
Any questions for Antonia? So like, to see the perspective of a student and, was it easy? Was it hard? Any problems along the way, or any questions on that area?
I was going to say it looks a lot like WordPress. Is that correct?
I guess you can make WordPress look, I guess WordPress has a lot of different templates, right? I guess the main difference is WordPress being a blog, and you can correct me if I'm wrong because I've only used it once, is that anytime you add to it, it kind of puts the most recent post at the top. It's sort of like chronological. Is that correct?
Yes.
But Spark, it might look visually similar to a website, but you can put your content in any order that you want. And so you have a lot more control in that regard.
It also seems easier. WordPress, I don't find it that easy. Actually,
yeah, there's a lot of backend. There's a lot of backend in WordPress that you don't have in Spark. You're basically looking at the site and you're editing exactly how it's going to look. You don't have to go in and manage pages and things like that in the back end.
Good.
Right. Yeah, I would say that Adobe Spark is way easier to use than WordPress. I can easily get lost in WordPress with all the many features, whereas Adobe Spark is very template based. And we're going to show you that in a second, how the reason why it's so easy to use is because everything is bunched into these kind of templates that, okay, if you go with the font, everything comes together with the color, the font, the style. And so it is limited in what you can do, but the goal or the what's ideal about Adobe Spark is that if you want your students to produce something for you, they'll pick it up in no time. They don't. There's no really. It's not like if I'm going to teach them how to use iMovie and I got to do 2 hours of teach them how to use iMovie. Adobe Spark is going to be, within minutes, picking it up, and you'll see why in a second as I share my screen. Thank you, Antonia.
Sure.
Thank you, Antonia.
You're welcome. I'll just add one thing to that. So Jose mentioned it is limited, and that is true. So once in a while, someone will say, "Can I change the font, or can I change?" And so the reason it's so easy to use is because it is very limited. It is a template that you can't change too much. As you'll see, there's different ways you can present content, but you can't really go beyond that. But I think that's what makes it so appealing to so many people at the same time.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I agree. Sometimes you open it up so much that it gets overwhelming.
Exactly.
Right. You won't get that with Adobe Spark, which is that's like Antonia just said. That's really why it's I prefer this type of tool for education where the technology is not really supposed to be in front on the stage. It's behind somewhere, and the subject matter here is really what matters. To be honest with you, I think we've been using that for 2 years, Antonia, about a year and a half or 2 years, and we rarely get any questions from. I mean, we do get minor questions from students or teachers that are using it, but it's nothing like the questions we will get for another tool like VoiceThread or Blackboard. It's just it's not we don't get that many questions from people because again it's very easy to use, and that's again why we like it so much. All right, so real quickly I'm going to show you how to access Adobe Spark. It's not a tool that you download to your computer. It's all on the web, so it's web-based. And Antonia, actually, I've been meaning to tell you this, but somebody gave me the great idea, or I don't know if it's a good idea or not, but I'm going to run it by you and Tammy, that why don't we have a link to Spark, Adobe Spark, within Blackboard? And I was like, oh my gosh, that's right. We don't have, we should have a link.
Yeah.
I don't know. I totally forgot. And I added the Padlet link, but I totally forgot about Spark, which is, anyway. But eventually we will add.
We could take a poll after this, see if you guys agree. Would this be useful in Blackboard or not?
Right. But to get to Adobe Spark, it's easy. All you have to do is open a new page on your browser and just type spark.adobe.com, and it will take you to this page here. And then from here, at the top right-hand corner, you want to go ahead and click on Sign In. And to be honest with you, this might be the hardest part of using Adobe Spark, logging in. But if you do it correctly, you won't have any trouble. But just make sure that you go on the right-hand side. Don't go this way. Just go in through school account, because remember, this is under the FIT umbrella. So make sure you log in with school account. If you do that, you're pretty much good to go. This is probably the hardest part right here, because I've done it before where I usually go with continue with Google since I'm already logged into my Google account, but it has to go in through the school account, and you'll see why in a second. So I'm going to click log in with school account, and then you have to type in your FIT email address. Make sure you type in your email address and don't go here, continue with Google again. just type in your email address at the top, click continue. And the reason why is because now you get this option here. And you want to go again with company or school account. And I apologize for all these many clicks, but this is the way it's been set up with IT. I don't know, but this is the way it is. So we got to just go through the process. So here we click company or school account. So we click on the second option. And then there's one more thing you have to do. And this is now confirming that you are an FIT person or student or faculty. And in this time, just make sure you put your username underscore last name, not your email address, but your username and your FIT password. And I think that's the last thing you need to do just to get in. I know this is very secured. So just once you click sign in, now you're in, right? So this is what Adobe Spark looks like on the landing page. And right below you will see any projects that you worked on right below. This is your recent projects. But what's really important is the top left-hand navigation over here on the left-hand side. Adobe Spark is a three-prong tool, like I mentioned before. We got video, we got web pages, and we got graphics, like Antonio covered. And so to have access to those options, you have to click on the blue circle with the plus sign at the top left-hand corner. And you'll notice throughout Adobe Spark that anytime you see a plus sign, it's somewhere, it's something that you can add content. And so you'll see this plus sign throughout Adobe Spark as you use it. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the plus sign. And then you get a drop-down menu, right? And here you'll see video, you'll see web page, and you'll see graphics. These are the three main ones. They'll throw in some other little other things in here, but these actually fall under graphics, but they get their own menu, even though they fall under branded graphic or custom graphics. So like flyer, Instagram story might fall under video, Instagram post might fall under graphics. But for today, we're just going to focus on web page. And if we do have time, or if you have questions, we might cover a little bit of video or graphics. So I'm going to go to web page for now. I'm going to click on web page. And this is what your web page will look like as you start. And remember those plus signs, like I said before, you see the plus signs are everywhere. Here's one, and here's another over here. And so this just indicates that you can add content by clicking on the plus sign. Right? So I'm going to do a web page for a make-believe course that I will be teaching next semester. A make-believe course. And I'm going to be teaching on, let's say, the Civil War. All right, so I'm going to do Unit 1. Do Civil War. And, you know, I would like a nice background to my title. And so I can just click here, add a photo. Now, Adobe Spark allows you to find free photos within Pixabay, which is included in Adobe Spark. You can also upload your own image by clicking on Upload Photo. And you can connect to other sources from this list right here below, either Google Photos, Google Drive. So there's many ways to bring in content. For now, I am just going to use the Find Free Photos. And I'm going to search for images of the Civil War. Right? And so I want a good one that kind of will go nice against my title here. So something that's horizontal, maybe, I'll try this one. All right, so that looks pretty cool. All right, so I got my title, and I can also add a subtitle. if I want to, so I can put my name there. So now the next thing I want to do is I want to add content similar to how I would set up my lesson plan for the day. And so if I want the students to read an article, then I want them to do a discussion, then I might want them to watch a video, then do a quiz. Whatever it is that you have set for them to do, you could do it from the top to the bottom, vertical, in sequential order, right? So let's say I want to start with a video, and I want to put in a lecture video or a video that I want them to watch. I can easily go to YouTube, and actually let me open up a separate tab for that. If I go to YouTube and I find a, say, Civil War, maybe I can find, oh, Ken Burns, that's a good one. Ken Burns from PBS, maybe I can, here we go. The Civil War, right? Maybe I want to bring a Ken Burns video in here.
Help everyone.
So I'm just going to copy the link to this video by clicking on share. And I'm just going to copy this link by clicking on copy. Now I just jump back into my Adobe Spark page, click on video, paste the link, click save, and now I have a video in my website or web page, whatever you want to call it, or the lecture presentation. Okay, so that was very easy. Any questions on how to add content to this page?
I'm loving it.
Oh, beautiful. Great. And as you can see, again, remember, we talked about visually engaging presentations, right? So you can see already it's becoming a story, right? And so, okay, so the students are going to watch this video. And so maybe I want them to go to a discussion on my Blackboard, right? A discussion page. So maybe I go here back to my Blackboard course. I go to content. Oops, not content. I want to go to discussions. Do I have a discussion here? Perfect. I do have a discussion. And let's say I want my students to now write about the video that we just watched, right? So let's say I want them to go here and start discussing, right? So if I copy this link to my discussion, and if I go back to my Spark page, I can either add a button and call it Unit 1 discussion, and I paste the link there. I can align it to the left, to the center, to the right. I actually prefer center. And then I click save. So you see how I'm following the sequential order or the learning sequence to Unit 1. Here's my video. Here's the discussion to Unit 1. All right, so we done a video. We did our title. We did a link to an external website, in this case, Blackboard. Let's say we want to add, let's say, a photo grid, right? So a photo gallery, right? So I'm going to continue looking for Civil War images. Let's say this one looks nice. This one, maybe that one. So you can create a gallery on your page of images that you want your students to look at. Right, so here I added about 8 images or so. Then I click save. And look at that, now I have a gallery. So here I have the video lecture. Here I have discussion based on the video. Here now I have a gallery of images from the Civil War. And students can click on these images. Oops, I gotta go to preview, sorry. So to preview it, at the top here, you'll see you have settings, preview, present, and share. I'm going to click preview just to see what we got so far. All right, and so here from the top to the bottom, you'll see how I'm scrolling down. Here's my video. If I click play, the video plays from
Help
there.
everyone explore new worlds and
Right? If I want to go back to the page, I click on the X. I'm back on my page. If I want to go to discussion, now it takes me to the discussion, right? I can just click create a thread, and there I am. If I want to come back, I go back to the page. If I want to look at the gallery, I click on the image, and I can get a full screen of each image. Right? So these are things that you cannot do in Blackboard, right? So what we're doing here is that we're building our content in Adobe Spark, and then we're taking the web page. Once the web page is complete, you're taking this web page and then you are embedding this web page in your Blackboard course. Any questions so far?
How do you embed it into the course now?
Yes, that's a great question, right? So let me show you one more thing before I move on to embedding into Blackboard. Two or three things I want to show real quick is, number one, notice how attribution is given automatically. I didn't have to do anything. But look at this. At the bottom, you get the credits of all the images that I used. And so attribution is given automatically as I brought in those images, and I didn't have to do anything to create this part of my web page. The second thing I want to show you is, let me go back, let me exit preview, the glide show. And the glide show is a little bit more advanced, but it allows you to tell the story visually. So if I were to do the glide show, instead of doing it this way, what a glide show will look like is something like this. Let me show you. So I'm going to click on glide show. Remember, I'm always clicking on the plus. All right, here's a plus, and then it gives me all my options right there. And so I'm clicking on glide show. And so let me choose a different topic. Maybe actually this is fine. The Civil War. Okay, so now I'm telling a story. So it's very important for me to pick the images in the order that I'm telling the story. Because with a glide show, the sequence of images matters as you're telling your story, right? So let's say I'm starting my story with this image, right? I'm going to start, something happened in this area, and I'm telling the story. Then the troops marched towards the north. Then there were two generals that I want to, oops. And then there were, let's say there was a specific general. Oh, what's going on? I'm getting an image problem. Okay, here we go. Sorry about that. So as my story is going, I'm telling a story, and these images, the order that they're in matters, right? So I got image 1, image 2, image 3, and then let me just throw in one last image, and maybe this one, and we march to battle. Okay. So I have here about 5 images, and so this is the beginning of my story, and then this is the middle of the story, and this is the end of the story. And then I click save. So now, as I scroll from the top to the bottom, the story is being told like that, right? And I got to fix this one because the focal point is not on his face. So to change the focal point, I just put it around here so that we can see his face. And then I click save. That's a little better. Okay, so now that I have my sequence of images as I'm scrolling down, I can add content on this box here. All right, so I can click and drag this box anywhere on my screen. Remember, we're doing all this without not one line of code. So there's no coding. We're doing all of this, and there's no coding, right? So again, just keep that in mind. And so now within this box, in this image, I could tell a story and click on the plus again. And now I can throw in some text, right? I can write something about the soldiers gathered together and prepared for war, something like that, right? I can then add an image inside here of soldiers getting prepared for war. If I can find something like that, I'll just use something like that, right? Right, so you see now, as I'm scrolling, and notice the parallax effect as I'm scrolling up and down. It looks like the image is coming towards you, right? And so here is, here is the, as I scroll down, you can see how now the story is being told, right? This image is not working for me because you can see it's going from white. It's a transition. So I might want to change this image. And so you can do that by clicking on the image and delete. Oh, not delete, sorry. I don't want to delete the whole slideshow. I want to just replace this one. Right, so I did edit photos. And if I want to replace this one, I can just choose a different photo and replace this one. There we go. So now this is a little better. I'm still getting that white transition. And then here I got to fix the focal point so I can see the soldier's face. Okay, and within these blocks, I can move them around. I can add a video. If I go to YouTube, I can grab a different video. And you get the idea. Very, very easy. And let me grab this video real quick just to show you how I can add a video inside a slideshow. Okay, and I hit save. And there's my video. That was very easy, quick steps. You see how it transitions. And so, okay, so now let's move to Carmita's question. And let's say I'm happy with my page. Now, also keep in mind that if you're teaching multiple sections of the same course, and you're using this as your lecture material, you can just copy and embed this page on all your courses, and all the edits and changes are all centralized to this one page. So whenever you make changes to your lecture, those changes apply to all different sections of your course. So it's all centralized as one page that you're distributing amongst all your courses. So that means that there's no downtime. If you ever have to change something, you can just change everything from the Adobe Spark page, and then the changes will trickle down to all the sections of your course that is using this presentation. Okay, so now let me click share, and I'm going to publish and share this link. Okay, and this is the title of my page, Unit 1, Civil War. And I'm just going to click create link. It's going to take, oh, look at that, it was much quicker than last time. So here's the link to my page, but I'm interested in the embed code, not so much the link. This will work great if you want to email students or something, a page that you created. I've seen faculty who use Adobe Spark to create a resource page full of resources that they've created for their students, how to use Blackboard, how to use Padlet. And so it could be a resource page where you can put videos in there, and then that serves as your own web page with links, right? And this is all hosted by Adobe within our FIT license. Okay, so let me grab the embed code real quick. I click on embed. This is the embed code. I copy the embed code. And I'm going to hop over now to Blackboard. Let's go into my content area. And I'm going to click build content, choose item. And I'm going to call this Unit 1 Civil War. Okay. Now here, under the text section, you want to click HTML and just paste the embed code in there. Click update. You can see that my banner is there with my title. And now you can choose some settings if you want to schedule the release of this unit, or when it goes away, or when does it become hidden from student. You can choose here and here. I'm not going to do that for now. I'm just going to click submit. And let's go to the bottom of my page of my Blackboard course. And there is let me just move it up to the top. And so, oops, I want to go back. I just want to show you how it looks from Blackboard. Right, so now as a student, when a student goes into your course, they're going to see this, right? And as you scroll up and down, you see how it kind of lowers you in. It kind of has like a parallax effect. It is a parallax effect. And then the student, if they want to go into Unit 1, then they click on this title here. It opens a new page, a new tab, and then now the student will then experience your lecture this way. Okay, any questions on how I did this? No questions?
I loved it. No, it was. I mean, it only goes to say how not complicated it seems to be, until of course we get into it. Then it will get complicated.
Trust me. It's as easy as it looks. But yeah, again, you might have some questions. But hey, Antonio and I are here for help if you ever do need help.
And like Jose said, I think the login process is probably the most complicated.
I want to show you all real quickly some examples of other professors at FIT who are using Adobe Spark in their courses. This one is coming from Jean Amato, who's a very good friend of Antonio and I. We love you, Jean.
And she gave us permission to show you, so we will share your content without your consent. Just had to say that.
No, definitely, that's true. Yes, and you can see. So this is Jean teaching her Asian cinema course. And I'm not familiar with this movie. Antonia, do you know this one? Late Spring. I'm not sure what this is. Is that a movie or I don't know? Jazurjiro Ozu. We might have to watch this one, Antonia.
Yeah, we get a lot of tips from Jean on which movies to watch. We learned a lot from her.
Oh yeah, yeah. So you can see how Jean is now covering this movie. You see how there's a lot of images, very visual. This works great with courses that have a lot of visuals in there, in a lot of visual material content. This looks familiar. Trying to figure out what movie. Yes, I think I've seen this one, Antonia. I don't know. I gotta ask Jean.
It's the same one.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, Late Spring, the same movie. So she did a whole Spark page on this movie, right? So here she's covering the 180-degree rule. Here's another example of another Spark page from Jean's course. And this one's covering Park Chan-wook. All right, so you can see
some Sparks that are just for her films, and then others that cover director's work, and then others covering a whole genre.
Right. Right. So as you can see here, so she's putting videos, trailers, links. Oh, look at that, visual storytelling. We're just covering that today.
Film is a brilliant combination of written word, sound.
I know that guy. he's good actually. He's young. So I mean, this is really great. Let me show you one last professor, and then I think we can end there, unless you have questions. This is another professor in art history by the name of Lorenza Smith, and she also gave us permission to use her course, or to showcase her course in this workshop. And so here's Lorenza Smith. She teaches HA 112.
Brilliant.
Here it is, spring 2021. And you can see these are her Spark pages, right? You see here, Unit 1, the late Middle Ages. Unit 2, Northern Renaissance. Unit 3, the Renaissance. 4, the High Renaissance. And so if you click on one of these, and you can take a look at how she designed her pages. Again, very visual. These are all links. And some of these are PDFs, right? So these open up in her PDFs that she has stored or saved in Google Drive. And here are some videos. More links.
Your Google Drive. This, because I
I'm
was.
sorry?
How would you bring a PDF from Google Drive into it?
Oh yeah, so let me show you that one real quick. So if I go to my Google Drive, and if I find an image, let me see if I have something, or a document. Okay, here, my Blackboard rubrics PowerPoint. Or you know what, let me get a PDF. A PDF would be better. Maybe if I type PDF. Here we go. This one is good. So I've been using this one actually for examples. So here's a PDF. And if I get the link and make sure that it's visible to anyone with the link, so you might have to change these settings, right? The permissions. So make sure it's anyone with the link. Copy the link. Click done. Go to Spark Page. And if I want to add, let's add it right here in this box. I can do it two ways, and Antonia showed me this one. I didn't know. Antonia showed me how to do it this way. Right, so I'm copying and pasting the link that way. All right, so now that's a link. Or I can do it this way as a button. And then say, read this article. Or whatever title you want to give it. And then just paste the Google Drive link. And maybe I want to center it. Click save. Like read this article. Either way, you can do it this way or that way. And if I do preview, apologize for that noise. Oh, here we go. Check this out. So I can do it this way, and I click on the link. And there is the PDF. Right? So that's how you would do a Google Drive link or a Google Drive document. Okay?
That was awesome.
Yeah, very easy. And if I do it this way too, it takes me to the same place. See that?
Yep.
Yeah, great question, Margarita. I mean, Carmita. I said Margarita. Carmita. Sorry. Oh my gosh.
It's Friday.
Friday.
It is Friday.
I stopped myself.
You know what's on your mind.
Margarita.
We know the drink you're going to have tonight.
That's exactly what I have in my mind. A frozen margarita. That's my favorite drink. And I know it's fruity, but hey, I like fruity drinks.
Try to fix it, Jose. So you know what I like about it is that the technology is not there, is invisible.
Exactly. Exactly.
Because or else you have to worry so much about the technology. Because I was thinking of WordPress for my next thing. But boy, I you know, it's like by the time I end up doing all of that, and then you have to start looking, I want this, you have to pay that. It's like, forget it. So this just changed my semester. Because I'm going back to teaching next semester, and I have to really, really get into how do I not put myself through learning 20 other things instead of concentrating on what I need to do.
Right. Right. And
So thank
this is,
you to both of you.
sure, sure, sure. And don't only
Antonia,
think of it, yeah, no, no. And from Antonia's perspective, don't only think of it from the teacher perspective. Like Antonia, her teacher assigned her work where she had to create a page. You know, it could be marketing or brand, a corporation. Create your own brand. Give me the consumer message. Let's build this, you know, this brand. And so students can be in a group. Oh, this is really cool. I forgot to share this, and this is worth it. Let me show you real quick. Because if you're doing a project like that, where students are working together, this is a really cool feature in Adobe Spark, is that you can invite your teammates in the group to invite and work and collaborate together. So if I send this to not Margarita but Carmita, see how it's linked to our Google. It already found your name. I can just send Carmita an invitation and become a collaborator, and I can invite you, and now you can edit, and we can edit this lecture together. Or if it's, you know, if it's a colleague of yours in your same department, you want to work together on creating content for the course, you can work with a colleague. Or if you're doing it from the student's perspective, where you're putting students into teams, and they're going to work together on building this project together, then they can invite each other to work on that team, and now they have access to the project, and now they can work on it together. Now, Carmita, you got an invitation to my project, and you can edit my work. We can work on it together.
Now, can I invite someone outside of FIT?
I think so. I don't think that's a problem. But remember, they're going to have the free account. I don't think they will get the pro account, because we get the pro account under FIT.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I think they should be able to edit your project, and it wouldn't be a problem, because the project, you're still the owner.
Okay.
But they might be likely will be using the free account. But I don't think it will affect the project, because you're the owner, and since you're under the pro account, it should not affect the features that you have as a pro user.
All right.
And I have a question, Jose, for example, if the students want to create their digital portfolio, you know, with their resume and, you know, a few slides for project, can they still access it after they graduate, or is it only while they are at FIT?
Yeah, I mean, again, I don't know what happens to students at FIT once they graduate. I know that I still have my Adelphi email. I'm an alumni, so they don't, you know, take you off the emails. I don't know what happens at FIT. Antonia, do you know? Do students, alumni? Oh, okay. I know I lost my Columbia email. I still want it, and I lost it, but I really wanted that one.
Some schools they transfer you to an alumni account or something. Students might have to go through that, but.
And Jose, you mentioned the video editing, and so you can actually create and do post-production and edit the video, add music and everything, take some footage from different sources, YouTube videos, to create a video with this tool?
Yes, and actually this professor here that I showed you, Lorenza Smith, she actually, after I showed her Adobe Spark, she converted her final into an Adobe Spark video final. So this final right here, actually, students have to, and I can't show you the students, but I can show you how the assignment is scaffolded. And if you're interested, I can pass this over to you. Basically, we broke it down into 4 steps. Students have to choose an artist or an architect, And this is a Google document that students are,
I would love
submitting.
that. I want, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
okay. I'll include it in the email summary after this workshop.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Uh-huh.
no, sorry, go ahead, go ahead.
I was just going to show real quick. So this is the first step. The students have a Google Drive. They pick their artist. Then I customized a video tutorial for the students on what they need to do for this specific project. And then she chose VoiceThread, but I've been doing this on Padlet, where the exhibition happens in Padlet. But you can also have the exhibition in VoiceThread, whichever you prefer. And then here, she has some great instructions, like, for example, speak fluidly and audibly and with a lively intonation. When narrating your slides with Adobe Spark, make sure to allow a few seconds of dead air. So she gives a lot of good detailed instructions. For example, this one's good. A very soft musical background is suggested. Pretend you're making a video for YouTube. So I can copy this assignment and send it to you if you're interested.
Yes,
And then the
yes,
last
yes,
step,
I love that.
yeah, and the last step is just that she wants them to submit a transcript. So the video and the transcript is submitted by the student into the Padlet or VoiceThread, and so that she has the transcript as well as the video, and that's it. And that's pretty much it for this assignment. But they love it in art history because in art history they do a lot of paper-based assignments, and grading paper-based assignments, it's if you're doing like 5 of them through a semester or 8 of paper-based assignments, it's a nightmare grading so many papers.
Yes.
And so this is an alternative way to do an assignment as students are producing videos. Yeah.
Now I want to take that class.
Yeah.
I mean, I just want to learn how she did the whole thing. Is it possible to actually be put as a student or as a visitor in her course?
I'm not sure, Antonia. Can.
Yeah, all you have to do is just email. This is Lorenza, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Is it okay?
Yeah. You just email Lorenza and say, would you mind if I observe your course? I just attended the Spark workshop and just would love to see. And then if you copy me or Jose or both of us, as long as she says sure, no problem, we will add you.
Fantastic.
We just need her consent. That's all.
Yeah. I just want to be, a fly on the wall watching her do this thing. Because I think it's so fantastic. I think that the students will really respond to something like this. My classes are so dry. I'm teaching methods of construction. So how do you show them how to mix the concrete and how to check that it's correct? But if I'm able to include the videos, if I'm able to include all of these things, and if I can get them to think about what they're doing, boy, what a difference it will make, whether it's virtual, online, or face-to-face. It doesn't matter.
Well, Carmita, it's always the storytelling approach, right? If you're telling it like a story, mixing the concrete and this and that, you make that into more visual storytelling, it'll make it easier to transfer that knowledge over to students, as opposed to having a 2-hour lecture video. But
Yes,
it just makes it a little easier to absorb.
Hey, Jose. Hey.
Yes.
Can you show me how to embed the HTML into the Blackboard once again?
Sure. I'll do that real quick, because that is the most important part, right? Because if you are not able to get it from Adobe Spark into Blackboard, you're kind of stranded there. So that is very important. So let me show you that one more time. I'm going to go into my Sandbox course. And by the way, Lorenza and I, we presented on this at the CIT conference. And we also got invited to present this at the online learning convention, what was it called? I forget, in Denver. And we went and presented at Denver, which was pretty fun. It was well received at the conference. But here, let me show you real quick. So if I go back to Adobe Spark, and if I go here and I click share, and if I click publish, let's say I'm done and I'm happy with my page and you're satisfied with how it looks, then just go to the top and click share, publish, and share the link. And oh, this is great. So if you ever do have a change or an edit, let's say there was a typo and you found the typo and you fixed it. If you click this button right here, update the link, it will automatically update your course in Blackboard. You don't have to recopy the embed code, go back into Blackboard and repaste the embed code. You don't have to do any of that. All you do is click update the link, and any changes that you made to your page will automatically get updated in Blackboard, which is fascinating. Because I hate to go back into Blackboard, do this whole thing again, click embed, copy this all over again, just for one simple change. And imagine doing this for all sections of your course. That'll be a nightmare. So now I got the embed code, and then I go back into Blackboard, and I do build content, choose item, give it a title. And here you'll see a small little button or a little square, and that's the HTML button right here. And if we click on that, and if you paste the embed code, on a Mac it's Command V like Victor, and on a PC it's Control V. Or you can just do this. You can just do edit, paste, and there's your embed code. And then make sure you click update, and you'll see a little preview. And actually, you can extend the window by dragging it down a little bit like that. This little corner here, nobody knows about this actually. Not many people know about this little button over here in Blackboard. You can extend your preview screen. Then you click submit, and it should be at the bottom. And that's how you embed your Spark page into Blackboard. Okay. This is what I made for the last workshop. This was another. So you can, they look really nice. As if you pick a good image, like this is a good image. See, so if you find a good image and you put it and you match it to your title, and that took us like 5 minutes to put that together. It didn't take that long to build that one page. All right. Did everybody have fun today?
Yeah, I have actually another question, and it's for Antonia. Antonia, when you showed us at the beginning your announcement, what did you use? When we are on the Spark, what thing do you pick? With the plus sign when we have flyer, webpage, branded graphic. Like, what did you use to do your little thing?
Yeah, that I believe is a flyer. So I don't know, Jose, if you want to show that, if you're still logged in.
Sure. I can go back in there.
So that was my professor, Jen Schloming. I took her statistics class. So it's not just for visual heavy classes. This was a math class, and she did a great job using Adobe Spark. And so I'm guessing she made a flyer for that one. There's also another type of graphic called a branded graphic, but the flyer is most likely what she used.
This one.
And there's,
sorry.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so you'll see that there are so many different templates.
You know what? Let's do one for Margarita Fridays. Do we have any? Let's see. Where do we have a margarita?
Yeah.
But
maybe
on
like or something.
You'll have to send me the margarita because I have to jump on another meeting. But you owe me a margarita. Thank you. This was fantastic. It really was. Thank you very much, Antonia and Jose. Margarita.
You're welcome. Nice to see you, Carlita.
Thank you. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that looks very easy. Thank
And
you.
these graphics, you can really customize these pretty well.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's see how this looks. There we go. I'm going to email this to her.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And I'm thinking, so Jose, you're going to send us the link and with the email summary. And do you mind also to send to Virginia and I the presentation about the gamification, the escape thing, and what you did for the gamification?
Oh yes, yes. I still owe you that. My apologies.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll send
that
it
would
to
be great. We want to play.
Definitely, definitely. I'll include, Antonia, if you can send me the link to your Spark page, and I'll include that in that email too, so you can have Antonia's Spark page as an example.
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thanks for joining us. That was
Thank
fun.
you, and yes, and have a wonderful weekend.
You too.
You too.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Let me stop recording. I forgot about that.